Hello all and welcome back to another wonderful video. Today I thought I would share with you guys how to play Raise Cross. Now I'm using playingcards.io. This game can be played in real life with any set of playing cards. So without further ado, let's go ahead and explain how this game works. First of all, you're going to have an imaginary grid. In real life, you're going to have an imaginary grid, of course, but in this, we're going to have a real grid. We're going to have our deck of 52 cards. You're going to shuffle these cards up. Then you're going to take the top card from the deck and put it right here at the top like so. Then you're going to put another one in the middle of your imaginary grid, and then one directly underneath that, and then one on the left, and then one on the right. Once you have a cross like this, you're going to then draw 3 cards from the top of the deck. Now, the main things that we're going to be focusing on are the suits of the cards. The numbers technically matter, but they won't matter necessarily just yet. They will matter later once I get to that part of the explaining. So what you do in Raise Cross is you take a card from your hand and put it into one of the 4 corners. Obviously, that's how you're going to have to start, but later on, once more things are cleared, you can put them on any part of the grid. But you have to put it on an empty space. You cannot put it on top of, like, say, I can't put a 10 on top of this. I can't put it on top of this. I can't put it here. It has to go in one of these 4 corners. And our goal is to match 3 suits in a row in any direction. We can go vertical, horizontal, or diagonally. So with that said, I'm going to take my diamond and put it in this top right corner here. Once I put a diamond here in the top right corner, something gets triggered in the deck basically automatically, and you're going to take the top card of the deck, flip it face up, and it's going to go to the top left corner of the board. That's essentially how this works. Now, if I was to take this 10 and put it in the top left, the top card would go into the top right. If I was to take this 10 and put it in the bottom left, then the top card of the deck will go to the bottom right. If I was to put the 10 in the bottom right, then this would go to the bottom left. So back and forth, that's pretty much how it goes. So let's just say, like I said before, I put my 10 there, the top card gets flipped up and it goes over into the top left. I now have 3 diamonds in a row. What happens now is I get to take all 3 of those cards in that row and put them over here in my win pile. Now you're gonna have this pile off to the side that's separate. You need your piles that you won and your piles that you lost, and they just go over there into the side for now. What happens now is I actually have this space right here in the middle. So if I wanted to, I could put some clubs here, or I could put my spade right here, or whatever I wanted to do. I could put a card there, basically, is what I'm saying now. Now, if I put a card there in the top middle, then I get to choose if I put one in the middle left or in the middle right. Basically, it goes into the 1 corners adjacent to that spade that I put down there. Now, of course, if this 8 wasn't here, let's just say that card wasn't there, if there's an empty space, you have to choose the empty space. So if this was my setup, just like this, and I choose to put my card right here in the top middle, then the card at the top of the deck has to go to the middle left. It would have to go exactly right here. So that being said, let's try to figure out how we can try to adjust this board in a way that's going to be favorited towards us. So of course, let's just try to say, like, I have this spade and I have this club. But let me put a club here in the bottom right. As you guys know from before, the card at the top of the deck is going to go to the bottom left. So let's take that card and put it into the bottom left. Now I have 3 clubs just like so. We're going to take all 3 of those and throw them in our win pile, our 1 pile. Now we're getting low on cards in our hand, and the board itself is almost clear, but I'll get into that in a moment. For now, all you need to know is that now if I decided to put this spade here in the bottom middle, I can take the top card and put it in the middle left or in the middle right. It can go into either one of those different locations. However, I want to win this game. I don't want to lose this game, so I'm going to take this spade and I'm going to put it right here in the bottom left. The reason why I'm choosing to do so is because I'm actually about to draw cards. Because once you run out of cards in your hand, you will draw. Now, we have to take the top card of the deck and flip it over before we draw, but hopefully I can draw a spade, because if I do, I can just put it right here in the top left, and I'll just be able to instantly take these 3 cards here. So let's see what happens. I'm going to put my spade here in the bottom left. The top card is going to go into the bottom right, and it gets flipped over, and it is a 10 of clubs, which isn't the worst thing ever, but hey, maybe we can work something out with it. So now I have no cards in my hand, so I can't place any cards, so I will draw 3 new cards from the top of the deck. I didn't get a spade. How unfortunate is that? But maybe we can try to adjust something here, figure something out. So let's go ahead and start placing some cards. Let's take our 6 of diamonds and put it here in the top middle. And now I have a choice to make. Do I put this in the bottom or the middle left, or do I put it in the middle right? I think I want to put it in the middle right because I'm going to hope that I can get a club right here. So let's take the top card and put it in the middle right. That gets flipped face up, and it was a spade. That's very unfortunate for me. But hey, let's see. Maybe we can push our luck. Maybe we can just quite make this out. Let's take one of our diamonds. I guess it doesn't matter which one. We're going to put it in the top right. The reason why I'm choosing that this time is because this maximizes my chance to get a free space. So if this top card is a diamond or a spade, I'm gonna get some cards off this board. Let's see what happens. The top card gets flipped up, and it was a spade. Let's take all the spades off the board and put them over here. And now we have more empty spaces that we can put more cards. So that's pretty much the general gist of how this game works. And of course, if I put this card in the middle left, then the top card goes to the middle right, which let's just go ahead and see what happens when I do that. It was a spade. And now I have no cards, so I draw 3 cards from the top of the deck again. There's a lot of like really interesting stuff you can do to kind of basically guarantee that you're going to get something. For example, I have 2 diamonds in my hand right now, so if I put a diamond here in the bottom left, the top card gets flipped up and it's right there. Ooh, it's a heart. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I can put this jack right here now, and it is a diamond, so I'm going to have 3 in a row just like this. However, before you collect any cards, always make sure the top card is flipped up. So we put it in the top left, so the card goes to the top right. It was a jack of hearts. It doesn't affect these 3 right here, so I get those 3 diamonds just like so. Let's just go ahead and assume that the middle is empty, just like so, and I want to put something like this diamond right here or something. What happens now is I can now choose any of the 4 corners to place the top card of the deck at. However, if there's an empty one, like as you can see here, there's a top left one and a bottom left one, I have to choose one of those locations. I can't choose this one right here on top of this jack or this one here on top of this 8. It has to be in this bottom left or this bottom right because those corners are free. Now, if these corners were not free, if I just take these off and I put this one down like so, I can choose any of the 4 corners I want. This gives you room to kind of play around and try to figure out like maybe whatever strategy you think was best. Now, as this game goes on, you will eventually run into a situation where you're just placing cards down like so, and oh no, oh goodness, this isn't working out for me at all. Oh no, oh geez. Okay, I didn't get anything. The whole board is completely clear now. There is nothing left for me to place a card on top of because I cannot place a card on top of a face-up card. What happens now is I look through this. I need to make doubly sure that I don't have any matches or anything like that. I see here, I don't have any clubs in a row, I don't have any spades in a row, I don't have any diamonds in a row, I don't have any hearts in a row. None of my suits are in a row diagonally or any other way like that. So I'm going to take everything off the board, literally everything off the board, even the cards that are underneath. For example, there's 4 cards underneath this. I have to take all of those cards, all of them, and they go into the lost pile. Then I immediately refill the cross like how I did at the beginning of the game with the top one, the middle one, the bottom middle one, and then the middle left and middle right. And then I have a new board to play with, and I'm just going to hope like heck that I can somehow manage to make this work. And that is pretty much it. There is one last single thing here, and that is 3 of the same thing in a row. So if I had something similar to this, let's just say I had this setup right here, just like this. Let's say this is happening right here. I have 2 queens here and nothing else is like 3 in a row. I can put my queen here in the bottom left. Obviously the top card comes up before anything else happens. And then we take a look at this. Now this is actually a super interesting example that just happened by complete random chance. But what happens here is I have actually 3 of the same card in a row. So I can actually choose to clear the whole board and take all the cards on the board and put them in my win pile and reset the board. Or since I have 3 clubs in a row, I can just take these 3 and then put those 3 in there. If I didn't want to choose to do the clubs in a row like that, I could, since I have 3 of the same card in a row, I can take every single card on the board and put it in my win pile like so. Just like so. And then once that happens, of course, you'll reset the board, just like always. Now, there are some cases where when you first set up the board, there will be 3 in a row. So like whenever I set up the board, let's just say these 3 just happen to appear in a row. Before you do anything else, just immediately take those 3 cards and put them in your win pile. If something comes up on the board and it's automatically 3 in a row, if there just happens to be 3 in a row whenever you're taking cards, just put them immediately in your win pile. If something happens and all 5 of those cards are in a row, like all 5 of those cards are spades or something like that, just take literally every single card in your cross and take them, put them in your win pile, and then draw a new set and set up a new thing there. At the end of the game, whenever you are out of cards in the deck and you don't have any cards in your hand, you're going to look at all the cards that you've won this game, and you're going to take a look at all the cards you've lost in this game. You're going to subtract the difference, and that will be your score for the game. For example, if I had 27 cards in my win pile and 25 in my lost pile, I ended up with a score of 2. That was my score for this game. And that is pretty much it. There is obviously ways to lose, because if you have like 28 in your lost pile, like 24 in your win pile, then you lost by 4. You can just do this as many times as you want. Try to see how high of a score you can get. Can you get a perfect game? I've only done it once ever in my life, and it was very nice. So that is how you play Race Cross. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please do have fun with this. Share it around if you want to. There's nothing, no setup, no cost, nothing. You literally just get yourself a deck of 52 cards and play with them. Now, if you wanted to play with like jokers or wild cards or whatever, you can literally use them as wild cards and be like, oh, it's a spade. You just choose what suit it is or whatever. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please do consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and doing all of those wonderful things like that, because when you do wonderful things like that, not only do you get access to wonderful content such as this, but you also get to become wonderful yourself. And I think we all want that. So do those wonderful things, and until next time, stay wonderful.